walked in and looked my way. With just a glance, yeah, I was sold. My head in disarray. How are you? How's your night been going? I said, I'm not that type of guy, you know. But why don't we talk? Yeah, let me buy you a drink. And then she kissed my face, yeah. I'm falling. I was all in. Now I'm running to survive. You got me in overdrive. I'm running, yeah, you've done it. I'm running so fast, you love it. I hope this day it never ends now. Your pretty face has got me in overdrive. After she had me in her grips, then she let go and tossed me in. Just like a shirt into the wash. We'll never know what could have been. I want another chance to prove that I could be the one for you. How could you make me feel so good and then do those evil things you do now? I'm falling. I was all in. Now I'm running to survive. You got me in overdrive. I'm running, yeah, you've done it. I'm running so fast, you love it. I hope this day it never ends now. Your pretty face has got me in overdrive. was walking by the ocean, feeling all emotion. When she came right up next to me, I got caught up in the moment. Felt like we were frozen, like it was literally meant to be. Time stood still right there. Time stood still right there. We rode the sun, we became one. We rode the sun, we became one. I would never have expected, feeling so connected. It must have been our destiny. And now I know I'll never let this ever, ever end in somewhere other than next to me. 'Cause time stood still right there. Time stood still right there. We rode the sun, we became one. We rode the sun, we became one.
Throw your uppercut, try to hit me in the gut, thinking that I won't react. You whisper in my name, thinking I won't be the same. Turn fiction into fact. See what you didn't know, bruises that I'll never show, slipping on your every jab. So tighten up your fist, step into the ring with this. I hope your mama's got your back. First round, you thought you would've knocked me down. I took a break, you're making a huge mistake, thinking you can take the throne. Look at you trembling, step into the lion's den, bet you wish you stayed at home. Begging for mercy underneath your breath when I ain't even sweating yet. My legend's written in the stone, yeah. You're crying danger in defeat is now your only friend, even your mama's gotta know. First round, you thought you would've knocked me down.
Been walking the night through, sleep talking with devils. They wrestle with my heartbeat to see what it is that moves me. And I don't wanna live here when nobody believes me. So take me to the ocean or give me your last kiss. Do not doubt my desire. Where there's smoke, there's a fire. Do I look like a fool now? Do I look like a fool now? I'm a hero. I'm a hero for hire. And now my heart beats pounding. Worldwide there's an alarm that's been sounding. This is not the end of the line. There's a weight on my chest that I need to make life. I am determined to have headlines and then just photographs. Why don't you believe me? Your eyes do not lie, darling. Tell me you see me. Do not doubt my desire. When there's smoke, there's a fire. Do I look like a fool now? Do I look like a fool now? I'm a hero. I'm a hero for hire. Don't delay my love. Set me aside through the night, and I come running. I will set aside through the night. I'm a hero. I'm a hero. I'm a hero. I'm a hero. Do not doubt my desire. When there's smoke, there's a fire. Do I look like a
What's so proudly held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight are the ramparts we watched rise above gleaming, and the bombs bursting in give through the night that our was together. Oh, sing us that star spangled banner, o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, man.
Test.
Good evening and welcome to the 2021 Montgomery County Fair Market Barrow Show. This afternoon we're going to see our hand classes and our Duroc. We will start off the show with our Duroc Class 1. Exhibitor number 1 is Tanner Lucius, cut and shoot 4H. Exhibitor number 2 is Reese Vondrell from Lake Creek Junior FFA. I need Class 2 to come to the holding area. Class 2, move to the holding area. That's exhibitor number 3, Cheyenne Walters, Trey Pittman, Hope Strasher, Bailey Lucius, Paige Doty, and Riley Jeffcoat to the holding area. Our judge for tonight's show is Mr. David Korb. He was graduated from Western Illinois University. He raised his hogs in Oxford, Ohio. Exhibitors, if you would like to have a picture made with your project this year, as soon as you exit the show ring, this year's photographer is set up immediately behind the announcer stand. It's Jeffrey's Livestock Marketing. They're directly behind the announcer stand.
Well, first off, I want to thank the crew for having me out to come down here and get the chance to sort through the show, your barrows and your kids. We start the day, and only 2 in this particular class, but I think 2 animals that still have some quality. Young man on the far side is going to win this particular class, and he just overwhelms the other one in terms of just natural spread and shape. He's bigger in his cage. He's fuller and fresher. I think when you get him behind him, he certainly has the advantage. Now, I'll be the first to tell you, I'd like to change both of them out of their front ends and just the way their shoulder fits together. But I do think this Barrow here in second has a notch more elevation at the point of his shoulder. I do like his proportion from the side. Just need to freshen him up from a skin and hair and freshen him up from just a composition standpoint, but a nice kind of a Barrow to round out the class.
First call, Class 3 Durocs moved to the holding area. Results of Class 1. First place goes to exhibitor number 1, Tanner Lucius, cut and shoot 4H. Second goes to Reese Vondrell from Lake Creek Junior FFA. This will be Class 2 Duroc. Exhibitor number 3, Cheyenne Walters, Outback 4H. Exhibitor number 4 is Trey Pittman, Champions 4H. Number 5 is Hope Strasher, Grand Oaks Junior FFA. Exhibitor 6, Bailey Lucius, Cut and Shoot 4H. Exhibitor 7, Paige Doty, Grand Oaks FFA. Exhibitor number 8, Riley Jeffcoat, Splendora Junior FFA. Class 3 Durocs move to the holding area. That's exhibitor number 9, Christina Brooks, Number 10, Jacob Johnson. Number 11, Kara Binge. Number 12, Micah Swerner. Number 13, Adeline Overall. Number 14, Ty Largent. Number 15, Landon Martinez. Number 16, James Wyatt Parker. Exhibitor number 4, Trey Pittman. Y'all will in the barn clear the aisle so these exhibitors can get up here with their Barrow. If you're in the aisles in the barn, clear the aisle so they can get to the arena. Attention in the barn. Y'all keep the aisles clear so the exhibitors can get their bearers to the show arena. Keep the aisles clear so they can move to the show arena.
a good pair of them here on the top end as we get into the second class. And as you break them down and analyze them, there's some trade-offs. But for me, the fresh Barrow is young ladies Barrow here to my left, and he's going to win this particular class. I think he has the advantage when you get right on top of him out of the backside of his shoulder. He's rounder in his cage. He's fuller and fresher in his body. And then when you get right in behind him, I think he definitely has the advantage from a cleanness of joint standpoint and also from a muscularity standpoint. I really like the way the second place Barrow comes right at me. He's got a great head and skull on this particular hog. He's got a big forearm. He's got a big chest in him. From the side gives me a great look in terms of just his presence and proportions. I think a very nice kind of an animal from a flexibility standpoint. I'll be the first to tell you I'd like to clean up his joint work from behind, and he just needs to be fuller and fresher from a muscularity and composition standpoint to beat the Barrow ahead of him in this class. Hog comes out next in 3, and maybe this Barrow isn't wanting to drive for this young lady, but as you analyze this particular hog, I think he's very fundamentally correct from a structure standpoint. He's a Barrow that's full and fresh in the center part of his body, an animal that's very correct in terms of his feet and legs, gives up but just a notch in terms of just bone and freshness of back in comparison to my top 2, but I think just a very complete, fault-free kind of a Barrow to end up in 3. The animal in 4 might have the advantage in comparison to the hog in 3, just from a muscularity standpoint, but I think from just a build and presence standpoint, he gets a little bit rounder out of his hip and hind leg. He maybe doesn't have quite the bone that the animals ahead of him within this particular class had, but still a hog with some quality from a muscularity standpoint to end up in 4. Hogs here in 5 and 6 are very similar. I thought the animal in 5 was one that just came at me just a little bit stronger than the animal in 6, a hog that's lean in terms of his shape, just giving up too much in terms of power and width and rib shape today, but young man does a very nice job driving that particular animal. Hog here in 6, same kind of story, very lean, an animal that's structurally correct from a flexibility standpoint, just need to see a lot more width underneath in order to compete within this setting.
Attention in the bottom, we're still looking for exhibitor 10, Jacob Johnson, and 12, Micah Sworer, to the holding area for Class 3 Durocs. Results of Class 2. First place goes exhibitor number 6, Bailey Lucius, Cut and Shoot 4H. Second goes exhibitor number 8, Riley Jeffcoat, Splendora Junior FFA. Third, exhibitor number 7, Paige Doty, Grand Oaks FFA. Fourth was exhibitor 5, Hove Strasher, Grand Oaks Junior FFA. Fifth was exhibitor number 4, Trey Pittman, Champion 4H. And sixth was exhibitor number 3, Cheyenne Walters, Outback 4H. This is Class 3, Durocs, exhibitor number 9, Christina Brooks, Montgomery FFA. Exhibitor 10, Jacob Johnson, Magnolia West FFA. Exhibitor number 11, Kara Binge, Porter FFA. Exhibitor number 12, Micah Sworer, Magnolia West FFA. Exhibitor 13, Adeline Overall, Splendora Junior FFA. Exhibitor 14, Tig Largent, Porter Junior FFA. Number 15, Landon Martinez, Willis 4H. And 16, James White Parker, Splendora Junior FFA.
Well, good class, and maybe comes in a few more parts and pieces. But from the moment this young lady's Barrow walked in the gate, I thought there was no doubt that one needed the win. He's the freshest in his back line. He's the most proportional from the side. He's still athletic in terms of his movement. Still got plenty of power and shape and dimension all the way through. He's not perfect in the angle to his shoulder. He's not perfect just from a bone standpoint or stoutness of feature standpoint. But I do think that one's awfully good and needs to win this particular class. Young man's Barrow here it works his way in a second, kind of snuck up on me. And when you get in behind this particular Barrow, he surprises you with how much just natural spread and power he has at the top side of his hip and to the base of the ground. An animal is still big in terms of his ribs, still got a proportional look from the side in comparison to the rest of the class. Maybe just not all the pizzazz that my class winner has in this particular setting. I like to set his shoulder back just a touch as well. Animal comes out here in 3, and a young man's got a big fresh backed one with a really big rib cage laid in this particular Barrow. His hind leg excels the class. For me, he's just a notch too straight up front. He can't get his head above his shoulders. If we could set him back in his blade to make him more comfortable on the move, I like his kind from a rib and body and muscularity standpoint to get higher. Animal here in 4, great skin and hair on this particular hog. Young man did a very good job showing this particular Barrow. Gives me a great look from the side. He's very flexible and comfortable out of the move when you get right in front of this particular Barrow. There's just not enough horsepower to go ahead and play in this particular setting. I like to give him a notch more shape as we get him behind him as well, but a very neat Barrow from the side. Animal here next comes out in 5, and this one's got a lot of shape, got a lot of dimension. For me, he's got to be better structured off both ends of his skeleton, set him back in his blade, and then more importantly, as we get in behind him, he's got to flex and hinge and just go more comfortably and squarely out of his hip and hind leg. Animal comes out next, one that is just a notch more structurally correct. I thought in comparison gave up too much in terms of muscularity, gave up too much just in terms of bulk and power, but a good Barrow from a structure standpoint, a good Barrow from a balance standpoint. Young man's got a very nice pig from the profile. Reminds me a lot of an animal that we had a little bit higher up here in the class. Killer from the side, fresh up high on the backside of his shoulder. You get into this particular Barrow, he's way too narrow at the base of his knee, just needs more shape and muscle there as you get right in behind him. And then when you just study him and just analyze him there in the center part of his body, he's just a notch too flat in this particular setting. Young lady's Barrow that rounds out the class. A heavy-duty kind of a Barrow that's still big in his rib, got some shape. I didn't think his hip and hind leg just flexed and went quite as comfortable as it needs to. We need to see that animal just a notch better structured to get him up any higher.
Results of Class 3, Duroc. First place goes to exhibitor number 13, Adeline Overall, Splendora Jr., FFA. Second was number 15, Landon Martinez, Willis 4H. Third was James White Parker, Splendora Jr., FFA. Fourth was Jacob Johnson, Magnolia West, FFA. Fifth was Ty Largent, Porter Jr., FFA. Sixth was Kiara Benj, Porter, FFA. Seventh was Micah Swerer, Magnolia West, FFA. And eighth was Christina Brooks, Montgomery, FFA. We will now have our first and second place Durocs back into the arena for the selection of the breed champion, reserve breed champion. Then we will select one more that will go to the sale, and then 3 alternates.
So we're going to pick a.
You're picking the Grand, the Reserve.
Class 1 Hamps. Start moving towards the holding area. Class 1 Hamps. Move toward the holding area.
Well, if we could, let's put our hands together for your 3 class winners out here in your red drive. Learned a long time ago, judging pig shows not to complicate things, and I think as you study these 3 individuals, there's one that rises to the top very, very easily for me. Young ladies, Barrow, the last class will be your champion. Congratulations.
Your champion goes to exhibit number 13, Adeline Overall Splendora Junior FFA. I need Landon Martinez into the arena.
Well, certainly some differences here as we get into the trying to pick a reserve, and you could go 2 different ways here, and certainly justify it if you like them maybe just a little bit fuller and fresher in their cage, and maybe just a notch sounder and more flexible out of their feet and legs. You could certainly roll with one, and if you like them just stouter, bigger boned and stouter for them, but maybe not quite as good structured, you could roll with another. I go back and forth in my mind because I like both Barrows for what they bring to the table, but at the same time, I'd like to change a few areas as well. I think as we study them and as we analyze them, the animal for me that's better structured, more comfortable, and better in his body shape is young lady's middleweight. He's going to be reserved.
Reserve champion goes to Bailey Lucius, cut and shoot 4H. I need exhibitor number 8, Riley Jeffcoat, into the arena.
For third here, I thought it was a close decision there for reserve. I went back and forth in my head, and I guess I just decided to stand for structural correctness. But as we drop them back out, taking nothing away from this young lady's Barrow because he's a nice hog, there's another one that just overwhelms the rest. That's the young man's Barrow right over here. It's going to be third. Congratulations.
Third goes to Landon Martinez, Willis, 4H. All right, I need James White Parker. I need James White Parker back into the arena, exhibitor number 16. James White Parker. Exhibitor 116, James White Parker. Need you back into the arena. All right, you three exhibitors for first, second, and third, and we have the three alternates. We have to have pictures made with your animals tonight. We have to have pictures made for the sale for next Wednesday night. Do not leave here without having your picture made. Was that exhibitor 8? Riley Jeff Cope just went first to alternate. I need Paige Doty, exhibitor 7, back into the arena. Paige Doty, number 7, back into the arena. Exhibitors, there will not be a sales meeting tonight. Sales meeting will be tomorrow night after the selection of the grand and the final 2 breeds. We will do the sales meeting tomorrow night. We will need all of the exhibitors who made the sale and the alternates back for that sales meeting after the show tomorrow night. Still looking for exhibitor 7, Paige Doty. Need you back into the arena. Exhibitor 7, Paige Doty, back into the arena. Attention in the barn. We need exhibitor 7, Paige Doty, back into the arena. Number 7, Paige Doty, back into the arena. Exhibitor 16, James White Parker, just went second alternate. I need exhibitor number 10, Jacob Johnson, back into the arena. Exhibitor 10, Jacob Johnson, back to the arena. Exhibitor number 10, Jacob Johnson, back into the arena. Exhibitor 10, Jacob Johnson, back to the arena. Exhibitor number 10, Jacob Johnson, Magnolia West, FFA. Need you into the arena. Exhibitor 10, Jacob Johnson, back to the arena. Anybody in barn see a pig moving this way? Exhibitor number 7, Paige Doty, just went third alternate. Exhibitors, you release back to the barn. This is Class 1 of the Hamps. Exhibitor number 17, Justice Gibson, Splendora Jr., FFA. Number 18, Ryan Stricker, Magnolia West, FFA. Number 19, Hunter Vallis, trails in 4H. Number 20, Cash Hartley, trails in 4H. Number 21, Maverick Landaverde, Willis, 4H. Number 22, Bailey Lakazi. Hope I didn't ruin that name too bad. Caney Creek FFA. Exhibit 23, Stetson McKinley, Lake Creek Junior FFA. Exhibit 24, Wilfredo Garcia, Porter Junior FFA. 25, Torrey Pittman, Champion 4H. And 26, Colt Reeve, New Caney Junior FFA. Class 2, move to the holding area. Class 2, come to the holding area. Class 2 Hamps, move to the holding area. Class 2 Hamps, move to the holding area.
Well, good pair of them here on the top end as we get into the Hampshires, and the presentation level definitely steps up. I think as we analyze these, there's one that just outhorses the other. I think he's a better structured animal. I think he's denser. I think just a very, very practical kind of barrel. Young man's hog right over here is going to win this particular class. You get right on top of him, and as you analyze him out of the backside of his shoulder, he impresses you just in terms of his spread and shape. He's definitely got the advantage in terms of just density of body shape. I guess for me, we get in the seat of his pants, and he's maybe just a little flabbier than I'd like to see. I think if we freshen him up in that regard, we could talk very, very highly about that particular barrel. Skin and Hair Award goes to this young man's barrel here in second. And from the profile, I absolutely love this particular barrel. He's an animal that's very, very fresh up high, an animal that I like in terms of just his natural symmetry on the go. I guess as we analyze him, he's the frailer footed barrel that's flatter in terms of his forerib. I don't think he hinges and flexes out of his hip and hind leg quite as comfortably as my class winner, but a very nice pig to be in second. Young man's barrel comes out in third, and I really like this particular barrel from the side. I think he's an animal that's very comfortable in terms of his range of motion out of his hip and hind leg. He balances well from the profile. I think as he comes right at you, he runs out of horsepower in comparison to my top two. I think this hog maybe has got some head shaker tendencies and just the way he throws his head around, maybe just not quite as comfortable out here in the ring. He gets out horsed just within that particular top two, but a good kind of a barrel to end up in three. Hog here in four has got the power and the substance and the mass that I'd like to see. I think from a structure standpoint, though, we got to make him longer and looser out of his hip and hind leg. I think we got to set him back in his shoulder blade. I'd maybe like to just make him just a notch bigger in terms of his frame size, but he brings the horsepower, he brings the shape and dimension that we need to see in a show pig. Animal comes down next here in five, and a hog that is very fresh up high. He's good in terms of his body shape. I guess the rest of them just doesn't quite match. He's a sound structured animal, which is why he works his way up within this particular class, but we got to make him just a notch taller at the point of his shoulder, tougher about his head, tougher about his bone. If we do those things, we can maybe move him higher. Animal here in six, a good body kind of a barrel. It's got some rib shape, got some muscularity, just not quite athletic enough in terms of his movement. Wants to get a little tied up out of his shoulder, tied up out of his hip. Hog here in seven's got some natural shape and muscle, got some bone. I guess for me, just way too flat in terms of his forerib. Wants to close up the base of his knee. We just need to freshen him up in terms of his body to get him up any higher. Animal here in eight, similar kind of story. A hog that's got some lean shape up high. Just comes in too many pieces from a structure standpoint, a little too flat in terms of his forerib as well. Great skin and hair on that particular hog. Hogs here in 9 and 10 are very different in terms of their type and kind. Animal here in 9, just too small frame. We got to make him bigger in terms of his frame size, better in terms of his structure. Hog does have some rib and have some muscle, though. Young lady does a terrific job driving this bear that comes out in 10, and unfortunately for her, this bear just doesn't have enough power and muscle to compete within this setting, but she does a very, very good job, and she should be very proud of the way she presented her animal today.
Class 2 Durocs need to be in the holding area. Class 2 Durocs need to be in the holding area. This is Class 2 Hamps. Class 2 Hamps need to be in the holding area. Results of Class 1 Hamp. First place goes to Exhibit 23, Stetson McKinley, Lake Creek Jr. FFA. Second goes to Exhibit 19, Hunter Vallis, Trails M 4H. Third goes to Exhibit 18, Ryan Stricker, Magnolia West FFA. Fourth was Exhibitor 22, Bailey Lakazi, Caney Creek FFA. Fifth was Exhibit 26, Colt Reeve, New Caney Junior FFA. Sixth was Exhibit 24, Wilfredo Garcia, Porter Junior FFA. Seventh was Exhibit 21, Maverick Landaverde, Willis 4-H. Eighth was Exhibit 17, Justice Gibson, Splendora Junior FFA. Ninth was Exhibitor 20, Cash Hartley, Trails N 4-H. And 10th goes to Exhibitor 25, Tori Pittman, Champion 4-H. This is Class 2 Hamps. Exhibitor number 27, Lacey Bryant, Splendora, FFA. Exhibitor 28, Austin Benj, Porter Jr., FFA. 29, Martha Garcia, Porter for FFA. Exhibitor 30, Aiden Prius, Woodlands, FFA. Exhibitor 31, Austin Lane, Magnolia West, FFA. Exhibitor 32, Delaney Miller, Outback 4-H. First call, Class 3 Hamps, move to the holding area. Class 3 Hamps, move to the holding area.
real good class here to work with, and definitely the deepest we've seen today. I like this top two pair of Barrows, but yet there's the one that still rises to the top. You get right on top of him, get right into him. He overwhelms the other one. Young man's Barrow is going to win this particular class. I like that Barrow from the profile. His presence is very good. He's genuine in his chest floor, his feet and legs point in the right direction. I'd like to see that Barrow catch another gear and allow his hind leg to just flex just a notch more comfortably, maybe wanting to throw him ever so slightly, but I still think he has the advantage in terms of boldness today over the young lady's Barrow here in second. The young lady's Barrow in second hit me awfully hard right out of the gate because he's big in his chest. He's really proportional from the side. Got a big rear leg, and it works very, very well. We get right into him. He's flatter in his rib cage. He's not as full and as fresh in the center part of his body. Wants to rock his shoulder blade just a notch more forward, but I do think that's a very nice pig to be in second. Young man's Barrow comes out in three, fresh and very flexible and comfortable in terms of his movement. I think thought in comparison to my top two, he just gives up too much in terms of power and blade and chest. I like to just open that one up and just give him a whole lot more to compete, but a very flexible, very fresh kind of a Barrow to be in three. Animal in four, very good from the profile, good center body within this particular Barrow, can flex and go with the best of them. You watch him come right at you. He just needs more chest to compete with the three Barrows ahead of him in this class. Animal comes out here in five, good body kind of a Barrow that's got some dimension, got a stout mug on this particular Barrow. For me, as we get right in behind him, just need to freshen him up and give him more natural spread and shape in order to compete with the animals ahead of him in this class. Hog in six, a very dense, very bold one. For me, when we get right in behind him, we got to fix him out of his hip and his hind leg and just make him square and the way his hock sets into his body. If we do those things, his density, his muscle competes with the top of the class. Just got to be better structure for this particular judge.
Results, Class 2, Hamp. First place goes to exhibitor number 28, Austin Benj Porter Jr., FFA. Second goes to exhibitor number 32, Delaney Miller, Outback 4H. Third was Aiden Priss, the Woodlands, FFA. Fourth was Lacey Bryant, Splendora, FFA. Fifth was Martha Garcia, Porter, FFA. And sixth goes to Austin Lane, Magnolia West, FFA. This is Class 3 Hamps. Exhibit number 33, Lane Sessom, Splendora, FFA. 34, Peyton Finley, Lake Creek, FFA. 35, Dylan Harp, Porter, FFA. 36, Shelby Grisham, Caney Creek, FFA. 37, Caleb McMullen, Splendora Jr., FFA. 38, Ann Pashada, Trails Inn 4H. 39, Jackson Jernigan, Splendora Jr., FFA. 40, McKinley Lucius, Cut and Shoot 4H. 41, Logan Mueller, Splendora, FFA. And 42, Cheyenne Thompson, Conroe, FFA. Class 4 Hamp, be moving towards the holding area. Class 4 Hamp, move to the holding area. Class 4 Hamp, be moving to the holding area. Class 4 Hamp, move to the holding area.
Well, I think for as good as this class is here on the top end, I still find one I'm very comfortable to use. That's a young man's Barrow right over here. I think an animal that can flex and go with the best of them, to be as wide as he is, to be as fresh in terms of his shape as he is, and to be that stout about his head, I think is awfully good. That's a very good kind of a Barrow to go ahead and win. My decision was always between second and third, and I thought both of those Barrows were very neat because they got a huge rear leg. They're very fresh up high. I guess for me, what it came down to is this Barrow's just a notch more athletic. He's got a better angle to his shoulder. He reaches and flexes better out of his hip and hind leg, and that's the reason he ends up in second. When I get him behind this particular Barrow, he wants to funnel in at the ground. I'd like to open him up there at the base and just give him more width and power as you get right in behind him at the ground. But that's a killer-looking Barrow from the profile in terms of having that kind of head and skull, to have that big of a rear leg and to be that sound and fresh, I think is awfully nice. Young man's Barrow comes out in 3, and you get right on top of this particular guy, extremely fresh in his back, an animal with a big rear leg, and yet one that's still pretty good in terms of his body shape. And my issue with this particular hog is he's a head bobber, and what that means is his shoulder blades is just a notch too straight. He can't get his head above his shoulder to drive with his head up, and that's why he's bobbing his head, because he's not comfortable enough in his spine, shoulder, and rear leg assembly to get up any higher. But a fresh-bodied one, a fresh-backed one, skin and hair is absolutely dialed in. Young man did a very good job driving them as well. I thought a very good top 3 to go ahead and work through. Young man's Barrow comes out in 4, an animal with a ton of power, a ton of rib, and just flesh to this particular hog. He's too soft on his front feet, and that's what really limited him within this particular drive. But yet I still thought he was sounder and more flexible and comfortable than some of the animals on down the drive. Hog here in 5, good-looking one from the profile. Young lady does a very good job driving this particular hog. We get right on top of him. He's got spread and shape. I thought his shoulder blade was pitched too far forward. He wants to jab out of his rear leg. We just need to lengthen his hip and allow him to be more flexible and comfortable to get up any higher. Animal in 6, a fresh one with a good look from the profile. He gets flatter about his blade, frailer about his forearm and front foot. Just need to see just a notch more muscles as we get in behind him. But still, that's the best 6-blade pig we've seen all day. You just ran into a very tough class because you got a very nice Barrow. Hog here in 7, another one that's got some bulk and power. Just need to be better structured and a notch more attractive through his front end. Good skin and hair on that particular Barrow. Just need to be a little better structured to move up any higher. Hog that comes out next, an animal that I like in terms of his look from the profile. Get in front of him, getting behind him. There just needs to be more width and power and muscle to compete. Animal here in 9, another one that's got some rib and body. You get him behind him. His hip and hind leg just needs to be truer and square. Animal that rounds out the class. Good body, just needs more muscle and show ring balance and presence.
So to Class 3, Hamp, first place goes to exhibit 35, Dylan Harp, Porter, FFA. Second goes to 39, Jackson Jernigan, Splendora, Junior, FFA. Third was exhibitor 41, Logan Mueller, Splendora, FFA. Fourth was exhibitor 33, Lance Sessom, Splendora, FFA. Fifth was exhibitor 38, Ann Pashada, trails in 4H. Sixth goes to exhibitor 37, Caleb McMullen, Splendora, Junior, FFA. Seventh was exhibitor 40, McKinley Lucius, Cut and Shoot 4H. Eighth was 42, Cheyenne Thompson, Conroe, FFA. Ninth was exhibitor 34, Peyton Finley, Lake Creek, FFA. And 10th goes to exhibitor 36, Shelby Grisham, Caney Creek, FFA. This is Class 4 Hamp. Exhibitor number 43, John Joseph Davis, trails in 4H. 44, Cade Thomas, New Caney, FFA. 45, Zachary Johnson, Magnolia, FFA. 46, Caden Mason, Champion, 4H. 47, Logan Carr, Lake Creek, FFA. 48, Camlin Wise, New Caney, FFA. 49, Heaton Woodson, trails in 4H. 50, Sherry Rodriguez, Lake Creek, FFA. Exhibitor 51, Haley Freeze, Montgomery, FFA. For any exhibitors interested, if you did not make the sale with your Barrow and you would want to put him on a trailer, there is a trailer, livestock trailer at the southeast corner of the livestock barn. That would be the front of the barn. They're offering 40 cents a pound for the bears on the trailer. If you want to load your hog on the trailer, it's 40 cents a pound on the trailer.
Well, very, very good. Top three here to work with, and yet I still think there's one that rises to the top rather logically for me. That's Young Man's Barrow here to my right. He definitely has the feature and the stoutness advantage within this class. He's unrivaled in terms of just his mass and his density up high. He's as good in his body as you can make one. Still got a big rear leg. I'm not going to call him perfect in the way he functions and drives out of his hip and hind leg. And as he comes right at me, he's maybe just a notch flatter about his blade. But yet in this class, he still overwhelms the rest. And so he needs to win in this particular setting. Young man's Barrow here in second. You get right on top of him, and man, that one's impressive for how big his back is, how big his rib is, and just where his center body meets his shoulder blade is certainly impressive. He might naturally be just a little bit wider in his chest than my class winner. I guess as I get in behind him, I didn't quite trust him and just feel quite as comfortable in the way his joint worked. I think it's plenty acceptable, but is it as good as my class winner? I don't think so. We could toughen him up about his head and his forearm as well in order to compete with the Barrow that wins, but still a very interesting, very nice kind of a Barrow to be in second. Hull comes out in three in a very Midwest type of a Barrow because we like them sound, we like them good looking, we like them with a big hind leg, and sometimes we'll give up just a little bit of power. But I guess for me in this particular setting, when he comes right at you, he's just too narrow at the base of his chest. I'd like to stouten him up in terms of his forearm, and then we get right in behind him. He doesn't have the same kind of just extreme muscularity that my top two do. Still a very, very nice kind of a Barrow to be in three. Hull comes out here in four, and from the profile, you can't draw one any better. I love his design. I love his freshness. He does a very good job driving this particular Barrow. Got a good hip and hind leg laid in him. When he comes right at you is where he really disappoints me. We got to open him up and just give him more natural spread and dimension there as he drives right at you. If we do those things, we can maybe talk about him just a little bit higher. Animal here in five, a good-looking one from the profile, extremely tall-shouldered, a particular Barrow that's still flexible out of his shoulder blade. He's got some width as he comes right at you. I didn't see him was just as aggressive in his shape out of the backside of his shoulder or there from stifle to stifle, and for those reasons, he ends up in five. Animal in six, another one that's good in terms of his body shape, an animal that balances well from the profile and maybe not quite as comfortable or as extreme in terms of his muscle, but still I thought he had more than the animal there in seven, who's very similar in terms of build and kind. I thought this Barrow here in seven, again, good in his body, good in his width, maybe not quite as comfortable off his front feet as the Barrow ahead of him in this class, but a hog that's got some volume, got some body density, just not quite the muscularity to compete. Animal here comes out in eight, good-looking one from the side, just too straight about his blade, too narrow in his chest. Just need to see more power within that particular hog. Does have some muscle up high, which I can appreciate within this drive. Animal that rounds out the class, another one that's got some muscle, got some density. Need to make that one bigger in terms of his frame size and more comfortable on his feet and legs, but certainly not a bad pig to round out the class. A very good animal to finish out the drive.
Results of Class 4, Ham. Results of Class 4, Ham. First place goes Exhibitor 46, Caden Mason, champion 4H. Second was Exhibitor 49, Heaton Woodson, trails in 4H. Third was 44, Cade Thomas, New Caney, FFA. Fourth was Exhibitor 45, Zachary Johnson, Magnolia, FFA. Fifth was Exhibitor 51, Haley Freeze, Montgomery, FFA. Sixth was Exhibitor 43, John Joseph Davis, trails in 4H. Seventh was Exhibitor 48, Camlin Wise, New Caney, FFA. Eighth was Exhibitor 47, Logan Carr, Lake Creek, FFA. Ninth was Exhibitor number 50, Sherry Rodriguez, Lake Creek, FFA. Okay, we're going for the champion Hamp. Out of Class 1, I need Exhibitor 23, Stetson McKinley. Out of Class 2, Exhibitor 28, Austin Binge. Out of Class 3, Exhibitor 35, Dylan Harp. Out of Class 4, Exhibitor 46, Caden Mason. Into the arena. Into the holding pens, I need exhibitor 19, Hunter Vallis from Class 1. Out of Class 2, Delaney Miller, exhibitor 32. Out of Class 3, exhibitor 39, Jackson Jernigan. And out of Class 4, exhibitor number 49, Heaton Woodson. While Mr. Korb is looking over this class, I want to remind the exhibitors we will have a showmanship competition after the selection of the breed order. We will have a junior showmanship and then a senior showmanship. It's $5 at the gate, winner take all. There will not be a jacket here. There'll be an order. You'll be given an order form. You'll need to fill it out with your size, and they will order a jacket to your size. Juniors will come first, then the seniors will come second.
Let's put our hands together for all the Hampshire exhibitors today that made it to this particular spot in this division. We run them back out. It's no secret. There's two of them out here that I really, really like. I think they hit me extremely hard through class. Both animals are very dense in terms of their kind. I think both animals are plenty acceptable in terms of their structure. I guess as I get right on them and get right on top of them, man, one of them just overwhelms the other. Young man's Barrow, the last class, my champion. Congratulations.
Your champion ham goes to exhibitor 46, Caden Mason. I need exhibitor 49, Heaton Woodson, into the arena. And exhibitor 44, Cade Thomas, to the holding area.
We're dropping that second place Barrow. We certainly talked him in class. Like a lot of things about this particular Barrow. I guess for me, it was a two-horse race there in the top end, and there's another Barrow out there within the drive. I guess in class, he got me really excited because I liked the way he was built, and I guess I prefer the way his hind leg drives in comparison to my champion. I guess as we get him out here, he maybe just didn't fit the bill in terms of freshness or density or stoutness in comparison to my champion, but one I really, really still like. Young man's Barrow right here is going to be reserved. Congratulations.
Your reserve champion ham goes to exhibitor 35, Dylan Hart Porter, FFA. I need exhibitor 39, Jackson Jernigan, into the arena. Exhibitor 41, Logan Mueller, to the holding area. In this breed, we will select 6 for the sale. We'll have 3 alternates also.
Well, for third, I think from the lightweight to the heavy, I think four very, very solid animals, four very, very impressive animals. We drop them all out here. I think there's a unique one within the bunch. Maybe not perfect in a few areas, but the next best just in terms of uniqueness, stoutness, and boldness. Young man's Barrow right here in front of me is third. Congratulations.
Exhibitor 39, Jackson Jernigan, was the third. I need Exhibitor 33, Lance Sessom, into the arena. Excuse me, let me back up. I need Exhibitor 41, Logan Mueller, into the arena. Exhibitor 33, Lance Sessom, to the holding area. Exhibitor 49, Heaton Woodson, just went fourth. I need 44, Cade Thomas, into the arena. 45, Zachary Johnson, to the holding area. Number 5 was Exhibitor 23, Stetson McKinley. I need 19, Hunter Vallis, into the arena. Do what? Yeah. 23 can go. Yeah, he's fifth. But I need 19, Hunter Vallis, into the arena. And number 18, Ryan Stricker, to the holding area. All right, number 41, Logan Mueller, Splendor FFA, just went sixth. I need Exhibitor 33, Lance Sessom, into the arena. Exhibitor 38, Ann Pashada, to the holding area. This will be for the first alternate spot. '44 was Cade Thomas. He just went first alternate. I need Exhibitor 45, Zachary Johnson, into the arena. Exhibitor 51, Haley Freeze, to the holding area. '28 just went second alternate. That is Austin Bench Porter Jr., FFA. I need Exhibitor 32, Delaney Miller, into the holding area. Excuse me, into the arena. This should be the last spot. '32, Delaney Miller, just went the third alternate. With that, that concludes this portion of the show. We will have All right, exhibitors, we're going to have the junior showmanship. Going to give y'all a few minutes to come back to the arena. It's $5 at the gate, winner take all. You'll also have a jacket awarded. The showmanship jackets this year are sponsored by the Lee Insurance Group, the Multifamily Management Ministries Incorporated, Greg and Karen Novak, and Gentry and Ashley Scott. Remind everyone in the barn, exhibitors, there will be a sales meeting tomorrow night at the conclusion of the Market Bear Show. Anyone who made the sale or is an alternate has to be there at the sales meeting after the Bear Show tomorrow night. Exhibitors, if you want to put your pig on a trailer, not carry it home, there is a livestock trailer at the front of the barn. They're offering 40 cents a pound for your bears. If you placed to go to the auction or you were an alternate, you need to remember to have your picture made with your project. You need to have your picture made before you leave here if you made the sale or an alternate.
Gonna hit the ground running, baby, I'm running, baby, I'm running, 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 running. Gonna hit the ground running, running, running just as fast as I can. Gonna hit the ground running, running, running just as fast as I can. Gonna hit the ground running, oh, running, baby, baby, running, running now.
When the last junior showman comes in, I will call for you to move forward. Exhibitors, we have two more announcements we need to make. The champion and reserve champion of the Duroc and the Hamp, you have to stay tonight. The champion and reserve have to stay tonight. You can stay in your pen where you're at now, but those four bears will stay. Number two, we will not start loading out until after the conclusion of showmanship. Once showmanship is concluded, we will start loading out. Senior showman, you can start moving to the holding area. Senior showman, move to the holding area. Senior showmanship, move to the holding area. Senior showmanship, move to the holding area.
give these kids a nice round of applause. Spend a little extra time here in Showmanship just to try to work with the kids and maybe give them a tip or two of what they can do better. We land on these top four. I thought made the cut, and I know I'm only supposed to pick one, but I'm going to go ahead and talk all four of these kids, or I guess all three of these kids, because the young man already left. I thought from start to finish, if you want to impress me in Showmanship, you come through that gate, guns ablaze and ready to rock and roll. And I think one young man in here does that very, very well. He's going to be my champion. Congratulations to him. I think if you're sitting around ringside and you're a young kid that didn't make the cut, I want you to watch this young man and where he is on this particular pig. He's very good about staying on this pig's hip. His whip control is very, very good. He knows where to put the pig and how to get it there. You made one mistake when you came right through the gate, and that's when I get him behind you. Make sure you don't cross in front of the judge and your pig. Rather go in front of the pig and around. But as a whole, very, very good job. Young lady there in second, I like your intensity. I like your ability to get that pig drove. I think something that would really help you is if you stayed on that pig's hip just a little bit better. I think at times you want to reach up on that pig's head just a little bit more, and you don't have quite the control of the young man that wins does. Young lady does a very good job, and I think the same thing for you. If you stay back on that pig's hip just a little bit better, use your whole whip to your advantage. When you shorten your whip, you lose your power, then you lose control of your pig. So if you stay back on that pig's hip just a little bit better, you'll have more control of that animal. You'll be able to keep them in the ring. If we could, let's give all these kids a nice round of applause for a job well done. Good job.
Champion junior showman goes to exhibit number 49, Heaton Woodson. Senior showman, you need to be in the holding area. Senior showman in the holding area. Last call, senior showmanship. Need to be in the holding area. We're opening the gate. Last call on the barn, senior showmanship. You need to be in the holding area. Senior showmanship into the holding area.
Well, seniors, I guess I get to be just a little bit harder on you guys and pick you apart just a little bit more. I think it comes down to two of them out here, and that's between the gentleman here right in front of me and the gentleman there over on the farther side. And I guess the first thing I noticed when you guys come back out is both your animals got just too much shavings on them. I think you guys got plenty of time to sit in that corner and sit in the ring and make sure that those things are clean and pristine. And I think that's something you maybe just took for granted just a little bit more. I think as a whole, you guys are very smooth, and I like your guys' styles in terms of staying on that pig's hip and driving it where it needs to be. When we get back out here, one young man just does a better job of staying in the center of the ring. That's you right here. You're my champion. Congratulations. I think as a whole, my young man that was in contention here, I guess I like your style just a little bit better. I think you're just a little bit more relaxed in the way you show. I guess that works to your disadvantage too, because you just got too far out of the center of the ring, and that's why you get beat. But as a whole, I think if we could change something on the showman that wins, I guess I'd like you to just relax your offhand just a little bit more. Maybe it looks just a little bit goofy holding that brush up as high as you do. I think if you relax it and just relax your body posture, you'll be better off in the future. Young man, your effort is second to none, and that's what I appreciate about you. I think if you just took a deep breath, relaxed, and thought, man, I just need to be a little bit smoother out here, everything would come together. I know it's a hard thing to teach, and something that you just really can't teach, but it's something that you just need to work on to compete with the two ahead of them. If we could, let's give those three exhibitors and all the showmen a nice round of applause.
Your champion senior showman goes to exhibitor 19, Hunter Ballas from Trails End 4-H. With that concludes this afternoon's portion of the Barrow Show. Tomorrow we will conclude with the other two breeds. It's starting at 4 o'clock. We want to thank our judge for today, Mr. David Korb from Oxford, Ohio.
Live in the moment till I die. And I'm gonna chase it. And I'm gonna chase it. I know we can't ignore it, no matter how hard we try. And I'm gonna chase it. And I'm gonna chase it. I know we can't ignore it, no matter how hard we try. No matter how hard we try.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go! Yeah, I was building on the lecture. Verses coming daily under pressure. Working on the plot and the scheme. The true stock trademark is at the edge of your dreams. I'm talking one shot for the kill. The breeze cut, freeze up, straight dropping the chills. I'm talking taking over pieces and shares of all big sky high. Check the movement is here. Yeah. It's one heart, one shot, now the future is yours. Go! I'm turning dreams into reality. In the lab with the formula and chemistry. Your memories spark and motivate and make the industry shake. We put the bars in the brakes. I'm talking one chance at best, yes. Painting pictures for the culture, keep the brushes fresh. Flip the cover with the drummer, passion never rests. Freedom is a teacher under pressure, now we blessed. See, I was so close with the goal. It's one art, one shot, now the future is yours. Go! Yeah. It's one art, one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
All I hear, go get the money. So I go get it. something right. So I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him. I hit the nail on the head. Yeah, I'ma let him. All I hear, go get the money. So I go get it. Hate means I do something right. So I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him. I hit the nail on the head. Yeah, I'ma let him. Early bird, go get the worm. Worm in the dirt. I can show you what I'm worth. My hands in the dirt. From where they look when you not. A hand in your purse. Hell if you think I'm last, hey, last should be first. Go ahead and go feast your eyes. Chefing up, cooking them pies. Leaving no slice, believe on a guy. Who in demand and who got supplies? You on the land, me I'm fly. Look at the miles, I be in skies. Right by my side, miss look at them thighs. Up in Dubai, you see us. Black man, black sand beaches. Yeah. Backhand if you slick speaking. Yeah. Cut off if that hand reaches. Right. Sucker, I ain't about y'all leeches. All I hear, go get the money. So I go get it. Hate means I do something right. So I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him. I hit the nail on the head. All I hear, go get the money. So I go get it. Hate means I do something right. So I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him. I hit the nail on the head. Yeah, I'ma let him. Women with sharks in the tank. Aquaman with how I think. How many could step on the stage and say they taking their art to the bank? You pulling rank, boy, I'm sharp as a shank. Making you step to the plank. The Capitan, come get me if you can. I'ma get you if you can. This ain't a prank. I have you waving the flag. Cause say I'm all in my bag. Getting my bags. Never see me getting bagged. By the police sitting in the back. Only if it's with a drink. I tell these shorties relax. It's the return of the Mac. You the return of the slack. I let it burn with the facts. Opposites they do attract. I don't go mess with the ops. I just be calling the shots. Like I was holding the chop. Then I go hit up the block. Cop me a cheese and chop. Probably go get me some top. Release for aftershock. Then I return to the plot. Jacking the gold at the pot. Gotta get it while it's hot.
That's what the love of money does.